Trivia. What is one of the most watched movies in France right now? I'll give you a few minutes to think about that and I'll tell you later. No peeking, like no looking it up on Google or anything. Anyway, welcome to today's edition of Everything French. That might work, Everything French. I like that. If you have any ideas for what I should name it, let me know. I'm interested. Anyway, some people had questions and comments and stuff, and I'm hoping maybe I'll address some of those right now. I was going to talk a little bit about French young people, like French teenagers. What are they like? What do they do? One thing that stuck out to me is that a lot of them smoke. Like, a lot of people smoke here. Almost everybody smokes, at least a little bit. The teenagers will wait like outside the fenced area of the school and smoke there since you're not allowed to smoke in the school grounds. But yeah, the smoking was the thing that stuck out to me the most. Someone asked what kind of music they listen to, and I spent these last few weeks kind of hearing what people were listening to on the radio, what was playing on the bus on the radio. And a lot of it is songs that we're listening to in the US, like all the popular songs that everybody's listening to in the United States, they're listening to them here too. That I asked someone about music and they said that there aren't very many French artists, or there aren't as many French artists, and that she didn't think they were quite as good. And so a lot of people just listen to USA artists. I guess that's what I'll call them. Yeah, that's mainly what they listen to, US. So overall, French teenagers they're pretty normal. I mean, I say normal. They're a lot like teenagers in the United States. They're all really lively and, sociable, whatever. They've all got their groups of friends that they hang out with. Everybody's on their phone a lot, and yet all talking and interacting at the same time. There's not a whole lot of difference about teenagers in the United States versus teenagers in France. They're about the same, more or less. When I was studying French in high school for many, many years, all the French books were always talking about how young people in France were always going to the movies and eating at cafes and just talking. And then I came here and it was like, they never go to the movie theater, and we have never once stopped at a cafe for anything. And I did ask somebody about that. I told her what our French books said, and she said, well, yeah, we do go to the movies, and yeah, we do go to cafes. So I was like, oh, okay, all right, I just have not experienced that part yet. So if any of you were wondering, apparently, yes, French people do go to the movies. And I did ask about movies, and she said that a lot of the big ones from the US, they watch like The Hunger Games, and, well, I think it's the only one she mentioned, but that gives you an idea, the big ones. And then, of course, there's also the French movies. She named one, but I didn't know it, and I don't remember it, so I'm sorry. So a lot of the movies and music in France is kind of the same as in the US. They kind of mirror each other. And that brings me to the question of fashion. I think a lot of people were wondering about the fashion here in France. And a lot of people in the US have told me that whatever's fashionable in Europe is going to be fashionable in the US like in a year or two. And I talked with someone that thought the opposite. She said that she thought whatever was popular in the US was going to come to Europe in a year or two. And so, from my point of view, it seems to be about the same. There are a few specific points that might go one way or the other. For example, men's hairstyles. That's one thing I've noticed. The trend right now here in France for young men's hairstyles, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's like more hair up here, not very much around here. It's just all up here. It's not a mohawk, but it's kind of like a mohawk. I don't know what it's called, but like a great majority of the guys here have that hairstyle. And in the US, I kind of noticed it starting to catch on slowly. So I think that started here first, and that's moving to the US. As far as women's fashion goes, I think it's about the same. Right now, the colors are like light blues and grays, whites, all sort of in that, with, pops of color here and there. But mainly just jeans. Yeah, mainly jeans. There are the certain groups of people at school, like you pick them out, you stereotype them, like the gothic, I don't know which one it is. Like those groups that are, they're in every school, that they do dress differently. They don't go with the trends. But so far, to me, it seems like the fashion trends are about the same in the US and France. So I'm not exactly sure about that. So I'm sure you're all just dying to know what one of the most watched movies in France is. I just threw this in there because I thought it was interesting enough of note. It is 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not really sure what to say to that. I just thought it was interesting. I was with some friends and they asked me if I'd ever watched it. I said, no, I haven't. And most of them had. And they said it is one of the currently most watched movies in France. And I think it's not funny. It's just amusing. It's interesting to me. So I don't have any pictures or videos this week. My family doesn't want pictures of them or too much information about them going out on the internet or anything like that. So I'm sorry, but I don't think you're going to get to see what my family looks like. But so I was thinking, that I don't have any pictures, I don't have any videos. It's kind of boring just listening to me talk. So I was thinking, what can I show them? Maybe to keep it more interesting. I don't really have anything, but I do have, this is my little card that I use to get on the bus. It has a little chip right there that you hit on the beeper thingy, and then it beeps, and then you can go on. This is very important. I check every morning to make sure I have it, because if I don't, that's just bad. I don't want to think about it. And this is my little card, flattering picture, that I use at the cafeteria at school. This is extremely important, because if I don't have this, I don't get to eat. And that is important. I must eat. Not that the food is very good. It's okay sometimes, often. And even in the cafeteria, they do their meals with courses. You take like your little appetizer thing, and then there's salad available, and then you get your yogurt, your dessert, and then you get your plate with your entree. There's usually 2 choices, and then with a side, there's 2 choices. And all of their yogurt is plain. Like always, it's always plain. Only once have I had vanilla yogurt. What they do is you pick up a little pack of sugar and just put the packet of sugar into the little yogurt cup and eat it that way. It's actually very good. I never liked plain yogurt, because it's just so flavorless. It's plain. But if you add sugar, it's surprisingly, normal, except for the little grainy feeling of sugar being in there, but I don't care about that. So that's all for today, I believe. I know I didn't cover French teenagers extremely thoroughly. If you have any questions about that, let me know. If you have any comments, topic suggestions, other questions, random words of encouragement or criticism, whatever, put it in the comments section. Please, on the YouTube page, not the Facebook page. Well, you can, but that won't guarantee that I'll see it. Or you can email me at hannahAtkinsVlog@yahoo.com. Vlog, V-L-O-G. Thank you again to people who do comment or email me. That's really nice. It's like contact with the other world known as the US. So yeah, let me know if you want to know about anything in particular. I should definitely get another video in on Wednesday. I might have enough time this weekend, but I'm not exactly sure. I think I can guarantee one for next Wednesday, though. And so let me know if you have questions or stuff, and I will talk to you on Wednesday.